might think you like anime, but you don't. You don't like anime because you don't know the rules of anime. And in order to appreciate something, anything, you need to know the ins and outs of how anything works. And that applies to anime. So today I'm going to tell you a bit about the rules of anime. Now there might be a few that you know, like the 3-episode rule. A rule that basically tells you that nothing is good until the 3rd episode. And the 3rd episode is always the best one. Like that training arc in Attack on Titan, that was hot fire! But just know that there are other rules, okay? Speaking of Attack on Titan, I'm gonna talk about a rule that was established by it just recently, okay? It's very popular and it's getting very trendy, and that's the cancels anything that moves. Basically, it's in order to protect the children. Anything that you dislike, you gotta cancel. But you know, in order to defend yourself, there's always a few great excuses you can use. Like the "my dog ate my homework" rule. Now this can be applied for far more than just anime, and it's pretty popular, but basically it's a get out of jail free card for anything, a bit like the 1,000-year-old lollies. You know, basically that rule means if you are sexually talking to a child, it's the child's fault, not the adult's fault, because a child is obviously much more mature because, well, she's lived like 1,000 years. Yeah. I think James Charles should take note of these excuses. It could help him. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying he should, but I'm just saying he could, right? Now, another rule that's pretty important to know is the 100-chapter rule that was popularized by One Piece. Basically, it means if you haven't read at least 100 chapters of anything, well, you don't know nothing, okay? You're not even part of the fan base yet, okay? And 100 chapters is a low ball, okay? It's not optimized. Obviously, you need to get like 1,000 chapters in order to know anything, or else you're not a true fan. So if you've been reading Chainsaw Man and you've gotten to the end of it, well, you still don't know anything about it. You're not even a Chainsaw Man fan. I mean, it just has 97 chapters. How can you be a true fan of Chainsaw Man when there's only 97 chapters that you have read? Like, that's really pathetic. There's also the famous Isekai rule. That's the truck Isekai. Basically, you need to be in a truck in order to get transported into another world. The thing is, I don't know how you really do it, because in order to get transported, the truck needs to go into you, but you're already in the truck, and I mean, it's a logistical nightmare, but at one point, you might get into another world. You might. It's not a surefire way, but you might. You could also die, but that's a small risk to take. And talking about Isekai, there's also the accidental groping boobs thingy. And what you gotta remember about this rule is that it's never the guy's fault. It's always an accident. I mean, obviously there weren't a bunch of horny guys in the studio that were drawing it and animating it and directing it, but it's not the guy's fault. I swear, I promise you, it's not the guy's fault. But obviously, I've saved the best rule for last, and that rule was popularized by My Hero Academia. Basically, it's the 50% rule, because, well, 50% is garbage, just a bit like life. So make sure to love and like the other 50%, because there's not much more. There's this kind of shit. And there you go. Here are the rules of anime. And, well, some other stuff. I hope you enjoyed.